Hi, Aries. I mean, I thought she was going to do a reading like 2 weeks ago, and then she didn't. And I was like, okay, maybe it'll be third or fourth. But then it wasn't. And I was like, okay, just forget it then. But for real, is this our reading though? Because I need it. It was all part of the plan. Two of Pentacles. Why? Delay, irritation. Imagine if all of June, every time you turned around to do something, somebody was cutting you in line. Like you waited in the line for, let's say, an hour at the post office, and then right before it was your turn, someone just cuts in front of you. And then right after they cut in front of you, that person gets to go, and then they say, oh, now we're closed. Imagine waiting for an hour, getting cut in the line, and then they say, oh, now we gotta go. What happened to the light? I guess it'll come back. The Chariot. So, a card of speed and haste, preceded by a card of standstill because of indecision, vacillating, doubt. The Hierophant and the Wheel of Fortune. Uranus and Taurus isn't making this any easier. Stop, start, stop, start. But you're not even giving me a chance to start. You're saying that the post office is going to be closed by the time it's my turn. What is this? How is this fair? What are you talking about right now? Maybe I didn't want this reading. But the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor. June is getting cut in line a lot. And I feel like you thought your reading was coming out yesterday with Aquarius, and you saw the A, and you were like, oh, that's our reading. And then it was Aquarius, and you're like, but she doesn't even, like, she always does their reading last. Like, what's going on? We got cut in line by Aquarius? What? Yeah, that's how it's going to be this month. It's a lot of, I want to do the thing, but I can't do it yet. But it's also because the Wheel of Fortune doesn't turn until it's free of the gunk. The more you are frustrated by the standstill, the more you try to push against it and hasten things. It's a card of haste and speed, okay? Especially during Cancer season, mid-month. The more you push during Cancer season, the more you will be opposing something that will not be opposed. Uranus and Taurus, Uranus in general. Let's not forget. Uranus is the Greek word for heaven. It will not be opposed. You cannot push the bull, especially not an electric one. But the Wheel of Fortune is there to be like, hey, don't worry. It's all gonna go really well, but it's just frustrating. And when you guys get frustrated, you get angry. And when you get angry, whoa, your words are probably some of the sharpest in the zodiac. Like, even more so than Geminis, I think. Because Geminis will be harsh, but Aries will read you your life. And this month, the delay and the slowness and the need for haste, those two things fighting with each other, have the potential to bring out either the best outcome possible or to bring out the worst in your nature. It's an all for nothing kind of month for you. And I think that's also why you needed this reading as close as we could get it to the Mars retrograde. Your planet is going retrograde. An annoying part of the sky, too. Your planet is going retrograde. It's, that's what you need to know about more so than exactly what's going to happen to you in Gemini season. You need to know what's going to happen towards the end of this month and how you, as the sign, as one of the signs that it rules, how it will affect you and what you can use it to your advantage for and what you need to stay away from. Judgment card, Queen of Wands, Six of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Six of Cups, very nice, Page of Wands, Eight of Wands, Knight of Cups, bottom of the deck, High Priestess. So let's look at these because I think there's so much positivity here, but you'll also see the stop and start of it, and you'll also realize that it's not as bad as you think, and that's what we want to get to. Yes, there will be a lot of stop and start. Yes, you have the card of slowness, for sure, but you also have the card of great advancement. You also have the card of really meaningful connections. It might just be when you are feeling the most frustrated and the most delayed is when you meet that person or when that breakthrough happens. So you really have to not just, a lot of people are going to tell you this month to roll with the punches. Not just roll with the punches, but welcome them. Because really with every new delay that you experience that's making you go, oh, why is this happening? There is some, great little gift each time that you'll sense right away. If you just give yourself a moment to, like my mom has been teaching me since I was a kid, and I've been teaching my kid since he was little. You gotta take 5 deep breaths. My math professor, actually, who's a Scorpio, has been on me with that for a long time as well. Because I was told by an astrologer, old Indian astrologer, very, very learned man, that the only thing that could not destroy me, but the only thing that could, the only thing that would harm me, is my anger, and that it was very dangerous for me. And then, after he looked at my chart and everything and realized that I have this exalted Mars in Aries in the 10th house, it's like, oh, well, there you go. A soldier for the cause. So that anger, you really got to work against it, because even though it is your source of power and fuel, this month the reason that will be tested is because there are certain things that you have to grow past before this Six of Wands, even, you showing up as the Queen of Wands, before you can reach that point, there's a few things that you need to, let's say, Chiron cleanse out of your psyche. And it has to do with the stop and start. A lot of Aries momentum comes from this reactivity and needing things to move. And what are you? Who are you if you cannot move? Who are you if you are not cardinal and able to manipulate or to initiate or to react and catalyze? Who are you if you are not cardinal in control? And is it that humility and that sort of the pulling back of oneself into a much more, let's say, fluid place? That's how much you guys don't connect with the High Priestess energy, that's where it froze. Interesting. But seriously, who are you when you're in this flow, this very receptive place, which is the complete opposite of what we were just talking about? Who are you when you're not cardinal? Who are you when you're not directing the flow? And is it valid to ask, are there things that you can only have access to when you're receptive? Is there a whole world of possibilities and blessings that is never open to you as an Aries, because you need to initiate and you need to be the one who's making things happen? And perhaps there are all sorts of really amazing blessings that just cannot come to you because they're not the type that come to you on command, that will call, run to you when you call. There's certain blessings and certain turns of the Wheel of Fortune that happen completely independently of anything we do. Sure, they are dependent on our karma, but that's not something we're actively doing. That's, a judgment that's constantly being made depending on where we are energetically, right? So the Judgment card also here reinforcing what the Wheel of Fortune is reinforcing, which is this is not something that is in your control. And June is about teaching you where your power lies when you're not in control. Is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as being powerful if you're not in control? Well, I mean, I think we've talked about this before, but ask anyone who's into S&M or bondage, and they'll tell you that it's the submissive person that has all the control. The person who's initiating the pain, the person who's initiating the, the bondage or the sadism or whatever, that person is completely beholden to the person who is having it inflicted on them. Because without that, victim, or without that masochist, the sadist has nothing to work on. And so it is completely at the mercy, of this person who wants to be pained, who wants to be humiliated, who wants to be hurt. So really, if you look at it in terms of sex, which, to an Aries, Martian energy, it is all about sex. Well, even if you weren't an Aries, it is all about sex. Everything is. So if you look at it in those terms, then you'll see that in a very concrete way, Aries doesn't have the power in relationships because it is the one that is dominant. And so there is this submissive person who's always kind of getting from you what they want because they're not as strong as you, but at the same time really playing you because all the strength is in their hands. Right? You've given the strength over to them by being the one who gets to initiate, by being the one who gets to dominate. And a lot of times that's difficult for dominant signs to understand. They have a really big problem with the realization that dominance does not equate power. Dominance is actually the opposite of power. The person who you are dominating has all the power. So, this receptive power, is this something now that June can teach you? Yes, only if you are not aggressive towards it. You see this card of rushing? You see that? You see this card of rushing? And then you have the Queen of Wands. The only card in here that's like receptive and chill is this High Priestess, but it's a powerful one. The Hierophant, in its own way, is also receptive and chill. That Taurus energy, they know how to do the receptive thing. Of course they know how to be receptive. That's receptive earth. That's fixed earth. That's what you plant seeds in, right? So a huge message of like going against your nature right now will yield enormous rewards. And so what are these rewards? Let's take a look. So you can see right away that it's the kind of stuff you like. The Six of Wands is exactly the sort of success that the Aries really enjoys. It has to do with the fruition of ideas. It has to do with perhaps moving from one profession to another. It has to do with an increase in stature once the truth has come out. If you are dealing with a Cancer or a Taurus, it's very likely that there are some big truths that need to come out. I'll tell you like this. You know how Aries dominant my chart is. And we know that Aries is all about, war and planning and being a warrior and military and strategy and all of that, right? I knew that astrologically this judgment energy was coming up. I knew for anyone who has dominant Aries in their chart that anyone around them who has been sneaking on them or in some way doing them wrong, stealing from them, talking bad about them or behind their back, all of that. I knew that if you had Aries dominant energy, that the judgment card was going to come up for your adversaries, for the people who were opposing you, and that their truths would be revealed. I knew that, right? So, knowing that, then it was in my best interest to sort of, let's say, entice those who just are being, shady and working like not in my favor, let's put it that way. Like that whole situation we talked about with the stupid channel and all that. I knew that if I pulled that idiocy back into the forefront, if I said the right things, that person would react a certain way and start doing the same nonsense again. I knew if I did that she would get caught in this noose. So it was in my best interest to tease her out of her, let's say, hiding, because it was Cancer hiding. I knew she wasn't really hiding. She was just plotting. Just plotting. Once a Cancer is jealous, there's nothing they won't do. I'm serious. There's nothing they won't do. Especially if they're the kind of jealous where they want to wear your skin. It's real sick. So, like I've been saying in some of the readings, the Cancers that have been lying, and in the same way the Tauruses that have been lying, their truths will be revealed this month. Things will come to light which will finally stop them, because the wheel will turn against them. So if you have someone in your life that you have consciously or unconsciously been kind of teasing into this trap, congrats, because they're in it and the door is closing behind them. And you rise to great prominence just within your own self-esteem and in your own self-image because you are able to pull this off. And they, the Judgment card is about them deserving it. They deserve it. That's why I can say it without feeling bad. I don't feel bad at all. I did what I did and I said what I said because I knew she wasn't going to go away that easy. And I knew that if I said that it was really easy to get rid of her, that her Cancer pride would make her come back out. I knew that too. And I knew if she did, she would fuck up and show herself for the copycat that she is, which she has, right? Now there's legal basis. There's also, it's wonderful when you can use this energy to your advantage. And this is a very Aries, candid conversation that I'm having. It's wonderful when you can strategically use this energy to your advantage to defeat your adversaries. Now, these people have decided to make themselves your adversaries. You were not out here trying to get anyone to, come up against you. You were not checking for anyone. That's the cool thing about Aries. Aries isn't running around trying to look for people to fight with. The fight comes to us. So whether it came at you in this sneaky, walk sideways around you and talk out of the side of your mouth kind of shit, or if it came to you head on and was just totally false. You know how Tauruses will lie, just lie their heads off, like nothing they're saying is true, like that? Either way, fortune turns against them now, and they're caught in that trap where vocally things will be out loud in public, finally, once and for all, rectified, putting you in a great position. Public victory is yours. Very good. However, after this high, we have this next low. And this is the, I hate being bipolar, it's awesome kind of thing. This is how it is this month. Because then after this sort of reckoning, then you have a period where the overall energy here is shush, be quiet. There are much, much bigger things happening here. There's much prominence still to be gained after your period of quiet. But of course, you will feel very stuck. And the Grand Water Trine is not making it any easier. Suffocating. But no fear. You emerge from this up and down, high, low, exalted, with the world at your feet. Just don't look back. Don't look back. If you look back, instead of looking forward, you stand to lose the gains that you've created. I'm just getting the extended cards out of the way. We'll clarify these too. You are only entitled to the world if you can employ that Aries energy at, at a moment's notice when it's time. This is not a period of rest for you. This is a period of active waiting. It's very different. You don't know when at a moment's notice you gotta go, and it'll be there. It'll be there. And let me tell you, this water sign, this water sign is serious. And they're going to show you, they're going to make the effort. It may move very quickly, right? But then after it moves really quickly and you're like, oh my God, then there's going to be delay, right? So this is this is what we're doing. This is how it's going to be. The 9 of Swords, this is how it's going to be, right? Then you're moving, then you're sitting still, right? You're moving, you're sitting still. You're moving, you're sitting still. It's just sitting still, then celebrating, then earth. You see, then going, then reversal of fortune. It just, like this, like this, like this. And if you're starting to feel seasick, I'm right there with you. Now, how do you keep yourself from diving into that? You know, when you let yourself, you ever been so seasick or so airplane sick and you just let yourself be sick and you're just like, blah. How do you keep yourself from just giving into that? Well, first of all, don't. Just because it's just like deeply unattractive. Don't, blah, anything. Secondly, I know I don't have to tell you guys, that was just funny to imagine you guys actually giving it because you don't ever give in. But I'm sure you had those moments, right, when you were like so drunk or so sick that you're like, fuck it. Ugh. So let's not do that. Instead, if we know that the highs and lows are coming, let's employ some Dramamine, right? So if you take Dramamine, I don't know how, like in different parts of the world, if you're aware of or are familiar with Dramamine, but you take it when you know that your equilibrium is going to get messed with. And so it keeps you from really feeling that that change in equilibrium, which keeps you from getting motion sick. So if we were to employ some Dramamine for this month, I would look to the major arcana for that guidance, which in this case would be that person that's like kind of pushed you in directions that you really didn't want to go in because they were manipulating you. And they were, you know, and if this is an aspect of yourself that's really been pushing you and hard on yourself and perhaps not even really honest with yourself, that aspect, that person, that situation, that work situation, that partner, and the electric sort of clarity and transparency that Uranus brings to Taurus and what Tauruses have been doing and what Taurus stands for, those two things combined will make you feel a lot better towards, I'd say like within a week. You'll start to feel really good about perhaps leaving your job, changing jobs to something much more, you know, true to you, like much more heart-based. And you'll see right away how you're doing the right thing and how it's going to bring you a lot of gains. Now, if these are people who have wronged you, the wheel turns against them, like I said, and it will be made very public. It will be done in a way that will be incredibly embarrassing. And I've noticed that with this energy, until they're publicly embarrassed, they don't stop. Because there's a lack of shame here, right? When you have shame, then there's a certain line that you won't cross when it comes to being shady with people. But this is someone who has an absolute lack of shame, right? Like, for example, in my case, what I was talking about earlier, this person who's making these fake tarot videos literally has an Instagram account that she goes on and goes to anyone who's tagged anything to me and like writes to them personally and is like, oh, this and this, and really like hurtful, slanderous things, right? That like have been compiled. I mean, super slanderous things that you could actually get in a lot of trouble for, right? And it's just, she keeps doing it. Meanwhile, she's got this channel where she's promoting like love and care and all this, like, it's just such, it's such a facade. It's such nonsense. Really, it's such nonsense, right? So that sort of person, really sneaky, talking out of the both sides of their mouth, really like shady, insidious, intense, right? But like covering it with this very like, love, you know, and all this hyperbolic, just, like gives you a cavity kind of disgustingly, obviously fake stuff. That gets cleared up in a way where your Aries spirit is just sitting there cackling. You know, because you're like, you shady bitch, that's what you deserve. And I'm right there with you. Like, I have a blood-curdling cackle. I'll cackle at you in a way where it's like, you'd rather be dead than have me laugh at you. I'm serious. Because, like, when I laugh at you like you deserve that shit, you feel it. You feel it in your soul. Like, no, you really deserve that shit, bitch. I'm glad that happened to you. That kind of shit. So you're gonna be cackling. You know, that right there, that's the cackle right there. That's the cackle. Like, you really thought, because there's a lot of people that have been playing Aries for real. And, you know, we have our moments where we just be real quiet and like the sword goes in the sheath and we're just, you know, we're not trying to have any, we don't want that smoke. Or better yet, we realize people don't want that smoke right now. They don't know how close we are to the edge, so we don't like to push them. Like, we don't want them to push us, really, so we just back off because we're like, no, you don't even know. You don't even know how close you're coming right now to get real fucked up. No. That's okay. I'm just gonna take my leave because you really don't know. And it's not even your fault. It's not even your fault because you don't even know. Right? And you got a heart of gold, so you're like, no, you don't know. Oh, it's okay. No, I'm just gonna excuse myself from this situation because you don't even know how close you're getting to getting fucked up. It's okay. So this month, even though it's like stop, start, the universe is giving you these little gifts everywhere. It's like you had this situation, the universe comes in and is like, okay, you know what? This trash just finally needs to go. Like this is smelling. This trash smells by now. It's like, throw this out. So it gets thrown out, and meanwhile, not even does it get thrown out, the universe is like, look at this trash, like on a megaphone. Look at this trash getting thrown out. Look at this trash. So amazing, cool. Brings you more into your power in a way that's very public, in a way that they're your friends and family and anyone who may have doubted you is looking at everybody like that horse is looking. Like, You see? Told you. Why were you doubting me? Why'd you doubt me? Just because I was quiet for a few months? Damn. And now this retrograde people might be trying to play you again when you have those lows, right? Up and down. So when you have those downs, people love seeing an Aries when they're down because it's so against your flow that they're like, oh, you know, like she thinks she's the shit. Look at her now. That kind of thing. But they don't get it. They don't get that this is part of the flow. So you don't need to show anyone the downs. This is what I'm saying. Because you're just going to go right back up in a few days. So when you have these down moments during the month where you're going like this, realize that those are the few days that you need to take to yourself. And when I say you need to take those days to yourself, do you realize that I don't mean like that? You do know that, right? You can be receptive like this, or you can be receptive like this. It really is your choice. Or you can be receptive like this, but how do we do that? I'm in Aries. How do you be receptive like that? You realize, like we talked about in Aries manifestation, that you planted the seeds. You already did it. This is fruition. This is when you plant the seeds and the thing comes back around and it's yours. And it comes up with your card. Come on. So in the extended, we'll take these over here. We'll clarify them after we clarify the major arcana and this Six of Cups. Let's talk about the Six of Cups for a minute. If you're dealing with an earth sign, I really think you'll be moving on. I don't think there's anything left. They're coming up so diminished and so annoying. And I think something much more powerful is about to walk into your life. And I really don't think that that person will hold the sway they used to because you're just not feeling them the same way. Like you see them for the diminished person that they are. And it's like once you do that with an Aries, once they see you that you're not the alpha, they're just like, nah. A female or male, when they realize you're not the alpha, they're like, I'm not really, just not really doing it for me. So you're going to have that moment. But again, that's part of a very temporary down. Don't take that one moment and make it your whole month because that's just sad. Like that person not being up to par for you is really a ridiculous reason to waste your time being sad because that's not going to, first, it's not going to help them. It's not going to make them more your standard or a better fit for you. And two, like if that person actually cared about you enough, then they wouldn't be subpar. They wouldn't be inadequate because they would do the things they needed to do to be adequate, but they're not. So why are you worrying about it? They should be worried about themselves because they're not good enough to evolve and change and be better. Why are you worried about someone who's not worried about themselves? And how's that going to help you anyway? Sorry, but like, explain it to me because I don't get it. That person never having been good enough for you, let's just be very real. How is you feeling like this about someone never having been good enough for you any of your business? Yeah, you could cry about it. It's still not going to change anything, though. Yeah, I get it. But it's still not going to change anything. Word. I hear you. We'll check it out in the extended, yeah? Well, even this guy, we'll check it out. And this, yes. Lord have mercy. We'll check that out, too. Oof, jeez. I got a Pisces situation. Lord have mercy. It's beyond. I can't. It's so hot. Like, I don't even know what to do with myself. It's so hot. The block is so hot. Aries, before I go, this Six of Cups, this, dark horse in the running here, Lord, when I tell you that this is going to happen fast, it's going to make this past few years of this nonsense be like wow, what was I doing? But don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck in even not, oh, this person's not gonna, don't even get stuck in, wow, what was I doing? Don't get stuck in any of it. Just, come on. Trust me. Trust me. Dog, trust me. Just trust me. Oh my God. Oh, all right. I'll see you in the extended, which I'm going to do right now. I love you guys. And I'll see you in July. All the links will be below. You can watch the extended instantly, download and streaming off my website. You just go and click on the extended tab, or you can go to the Shopify link below. And there's like a bunch of links for Instagram and stuff. The best way to keep in touch with me is through Instagram. There will be an email address, venue@ambercon.com, if you have a venue and you would like to hit one of the tour dates and be a part of the revolution. Email me and let me know. Did I mention that I love you guys? Oh, yeah. See you next month.